Today I'm doing something a little unique today. I've learned a few ins and outs of trying to make a flat and decent looking base like rock formation with a terrain manipulator. I've built my base from ground zero all the way at the bottom of this ocean. And I built that rock from dust, literally. And as you see, I'm still building more from dust. And I thought because, well, this is a unique thing and not very many people seem to be able to figure out how to use this quite accordingly, I thought I would help. So in my time of using this at first, it was always rather finicky. However, as I went along throughout the time playing this, the years as it were, because it's been a few years now, I thought, why not show some of the ins and outs I've learned? So officially, this spot is the spot I wanted all to be flat with. So it's taken me quite a while to get this quite right. I missed a spot right there then. I must have. Hang on. Before I go. There. Boom. Perfectly flat. I want to make sure I clean up all of these little holes. Now this is something you can do if you're like really heck bent on making sure that you have perfect or a semi-perfect spot in the middle of nowhere. I learned if I just straight across it really quickly, it'll destroy everything. But as I go very, very smoothly, no glitch. It'll actually go almost perfectly. This is a very, very finicky tool, mind you. Because yes, I can just zip it straight across, but like like you just seen there, it literally took more away than I was planning on it. This is something you might want to do if you're into like really high design looking places, and trying to build them isn't the easiest thing. But you know, in some cases, it can actually be quite fulfilling. The reason I'm making this spot flat and not equal to the other mountain that I made is because over there is a special spot. Over here I have plans for, like a lot more plans. All this was like the rest of that ocean. Before I showed up here, the only thing you could see in this area was that little rock formation over yonder. Over there. I actually landed over there originally. Got out my tool to see if there was any hot spots like this one nearby. And to one's better judgment, the very bottom of our base is a very, as you can see, electromagnetic power spot. Very rarely will you ever see more than 3 of these in a spot, and it's usually one of each. There's almost no instances I've ever come across to where there's been more than one electromagnetic area within like 500 to 1,000 units of distance of each other. Usually it's like 2 or maybe 3,000 distance apart. But the reason I did all this flat terrain, I just thought I'd show you some of the tool things I've been learning with the terrain manipulator once I get back to it. Obviously there's the building component, which we are using. So if I just jettison it across, like as you see there, that was my jettison first attempt, I can do this. And then this. or that. It looks very, like, almost near perfectly tall and straight, but it's actually crooked and very crooked and annoying. For someone who's just trying to build up elevation, that might be your thing. But for me, that's not what I'm doing. There's also the flatten one, which you've seen me use. Restore, because those weren't there, it just takes them away. It acts like the mining tool. But as you can see, I can use it on even my old mountain that I made. But I'm not doing that. And it can be changed size. Bigger, smaller. Somewhere in the middle for some of the tools. And then there's the mine, obviously. Which usually gets the biggest. The more closer you get up to it. And there's this, the build phase. We can build base, which I've been, rock, mountain, underwater. Yeah, we can. I'm a little annoyed with that now. I didn't know I could build underwater. Cave. Ooh, what can we do with cave? So the best way to get it actually as close as possible is to do just as I am, if you want precision, one little dab at a time. Because it actually gets it pretty flat, as you can see, to do it that way. I know it may not be the thing for those of you who want to get it done quickly, but this is the kind of tool that you gotta really kind of be precise with. Especially if you're just building in the middle of nowhere like I am. Being precise can be the difference between you literally getting your rear end handed to you by creatures or elemental practices, or keeping yourself alive and without a problem. Because if it is not actually precise, I've noticed over the time sentinels will phase right through it. Literally, right through. Any gaps you leave, they might be able to squeeze through or pop through, or the barrier won't read it quite right, and they'll get through and they'll still kill the crap out of you. But that's why I'm doing this precisely. Right now I'm trying to build a cave for my exosuit phase. Because, you know, I could leave them out in the open, but that just kind of defeats the whole purpose. I'm basically doing this to kind of blend them in. And cave, in all truth, I don't have to worry too much about. Because if they're in a cave, I can make it as hilly or as rocky as I want. And I made that entire little mount right there that I'm walking up to, slowly, a little bit at a time. Like I said, just off the whim. With just a few things. The base, the mine, the flatten, and the building tool, obviously. And I've made it perfectly flat because once upon a time this is where my ship sat. I made it perfectly flat and it was difficult as all heck to get it to be absolutely perfect so that the ship will sit right on it. As you can clearly see, I could make it land right there. Yeah, it's basically... So when I was making the mountain there, I literally sat on the wall where I was at the time and did something similar to what I'm doing here. I literally sat up there and did 3 little taps at a time. For example, I made it literally night and day. Let's switch back to the base material so I can just show you real quick. 1, 2, 3. Almost perfectly even. I'll do it again just so you can see. 1, 2, 3. Nearly perfectly even. There. Just to even it out a little. A little more. Touch more in the middle there. But yeah, practically that's all there is really to it. I know my one friend Tim couldn't really get this, or aka Game, couldn't get this tool to work all that well in his favor when he tried to use it many times before. And it's basically because it is a very finicky tool. Very finicky. I'm also going to build an extra little cave out over here for the other multi-tool, or not multi-tool, exosuit bay that I'm going to be building when I go get it. Although during the recent community thingamadoodle there, the exploration thing, I ended up having access to all of them as soon as I came back from the community exploration thing. I forget what you want to call it, expedition. There we go. I ended up losing those few recipes for that. But that happens. And to forget the technology you have at the time before you start it, and then once you've finished it, it's like, oh hey, I forgot I didn't have those before I got on there. And as you see, when you build it correctly, you'll have that as an option too. It'll actually act a lot like a house. As it should. Precision works out wonders. And as you can see, it doesn't take all that much. And if I miss a spot, I can walk around and get to it and fill it in nicely. Yeah, like I said, I was doing a live video to say thank you to all those who are subscribed. And we have made it to 50 subscribers, so we can do live from our phone. Just because I know no one tuned into the live stream last night when I was doing it. I just thought I'd make another mention in a quick video, so that way I can say thank you to everyone. And I thought since I'm not going anywhere today, I would just try to find something that is as close and as travel-like as possible. So I was like, yes, I'm already doing No Man's Sky, and that's probably the best option I'll have to express everything. I thought, why not? I'll do a little No Man's Sky video. And since most people I know who do play this game still do not know how to properly use this tool all that much, and I thought, hey, I've learned some neat tricks with it. I thought, why not share what I know? Beautiful. And it worked out. Oh, let's just mine out that little back wall a little. There. Darn. Well, that just means I got a little more work to do is all. Does not wish to go up. Okay. Okay. That's interesting. So we'll go up there a little bit. Alright, well, I'll just cover this hole up then. See, that's part of the finicky stuff right there, too. The way I just ripped a hole through my little cave that I built. Finicky spot. Curious. And that almost concludes our entire cave. Almost. Now it's just basically filling out the little odds and ends. Just touch. There. And because it's so close to our base, well then, alrighty then. Almost perfect. A little short on the size around. Not that we can't fix. I like that the way it is. Yeah, this is just the way to use it. Quick little taps once in a while. You might have to go back over the stuff you already did and so on and so forth. There. Now, for the other one we have currently. So, it proves pointless to... well, nah, I'll hold off on that one. Solely for one reason. Why would we need that one around here? There's really nowhere for it to go in this instance. That one, on the other hand, I can use even underwater if I wanted. Just to prove my point. Yeah, I might as well give you the grand tour of what we have built so far, because this is not all I plan on building for this. Started off with just a base computer, and it went from that to having a terminal, having power, from power to having all these other rooms. Quickly grab some stuff. These are the undersea deep sea chambers. They act almost like the ones above ground. Almost. It's a very long way up, but a very long way down. Always good just to use the ladder for, hey, if I tried to jump or use the jetpack, I would fall halfway down. Probably not survive if I hit the ground. And the sea floor. all the way to the surface. Yes, I had to do the agricultural tower thing here. Had to because, well, I had nothing else to use at the time. I didn't have all the pure that I have back on my character now. And I just said, well, why not? And when I say agricultural, I can plant any sort of learned recipe from them. Right in this little chamber. And in order to build off this chamber, I have to have at least one of these littler hallways right here in between on the 4 major sections. I could put one over this spot, I could put one over this spot, and I can still put one over this spot. If I wanted to. Yes, it looks like the ladder disappears into the floor. Oh, wait. Over there. On one particular floor down there. As you can kind of clearly see, it's only about 4 down. Reason it did that is because for some reason it glitched. And it couldn't really, for whatever reason, register that the thing went all the way through. So I had to redo that 4th one right there. Up. Twice. As you can see, it is right below us. And with it being right below us, I'll do that. Kind of gives it the antennae look right there. I'll have to build another cloaking device for that later. That's the only downside. Either I could build a additional, what you want to call it, thingadoodle. One of those over here if I wanted, or I could just vice versa, like you saw me do, with the wire across the way here. And the cloaking device I was talking about was this guy. Was because it'll make it look like those do not exist. Practically. Oh, well that's strange. I can still see it then. 1 per base, yes. Pardon the language. No, anytime I have to like go over like something like this, the starship landing pad or something, it'll literally make me have to do something like this. an alternative power source, a wiring hookup to the main area, and so on. And just anytime one builds these landing pads, the NPCs will use them, we can use them, vice versa. However, the only reason I recommend you not use this function of them is because I've seen over time that once you use them like that, the little navigational data, it for some reason registers the entire landing pad as a PC landing pad only, rather than an NPC and a PC. For example, if you were to just fly in from outer space and land on any of these pads, it'll still count to the game, for whatever reason, I've discovered, as an NPC and PC landing pad. But the moment you use this little thing here with the navigational data, it becomes a PC only. I have never seen an NPC land back on these pads once that's been done. And I've played this game since its release. Though I have not always partaken in the expeditions since then, I have partaked in a number of them since then. Mainly because throughout my life I've been very busy. I usually only play games like this when I have time. Once upon a time I used to play video games every day, all day. But life changes. Sure, we'll build an automatic trap. Perfect. This is just a fishing trap. As you can see, I also have a fishing rod. That and the recent, the cursed expeditions are the recent two that I've been in. The ones before that were a while back. Well, we'll have to fix that then. I need those. What do I wish to get rid of for that, though? Is the question. Try to get rid of that. There. Nope. My plan is, over the course of time, to build this to literally branch almost that entire area, maybe, and at least closer to that area over there, more than it already does. But for all of that, I will have to do a lot more power and a lot more construction. I might as well do this part too, since this is going to become one of our primary bases. Basically put the three of them in here, and the fourth one will get that last area over time. Oxygen harvester, what will it take? Those life support checks. Something we don't have, obviously. And, well, with that said, how are we doing on time? We're 36 minutes in our recording. But yeah, that's really all I was going to plan on doing, was a little video on how to use the terrain manipulator a little more. That's weird. I've never seen that happen before. I have never seen it go over our head like that in this area till now. Anywho, if you would like to see more No Man's Sky and or other video games like this, please let me know in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe if you haven't. And if you are interested, please let me know in the comments that you would like to see more of these. I look forward to, providing more No Man's Sky in the future, and various other number of games that I have previously run through a little bit of. I think I will head up to my freighter that I have. Which is just floating over yonder. Looks like half of all our ships are back from what I was just seeing. And it looks like there are several other freighter clusters, possibly with recruitable frigates. Though I believe I may have enough of those for the meantime. After all, I have half of them sitting here waiting to be fixed. The ones I do have, because, well, I was waiting to see if it'll let me land on these, because earlier it kept rejecting me, saying, nope, landing area not secure. Had a glitch going on with it. But it looks like that glitch has finally decided to work itself out. Oh, goodness. 3 damaged components over on here. I think that'll do it for our one video, and I'm probably going to start another broadcast here afterward. I want to keep this one short because it was supposed to keep a specific task in mind, the terrain manipulator. I will be doing another video in just a few minutes to continue from where we leave off here. Like I said, in the future, please like, comment, share.